Hi, I'm here with Mark Nadal. He is CEO of Era, and it's a company that cooked up a new video conferencing system called MeThing. Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on your show, Larry.
So, I guess walk me through. I was reading up on Era a bit. Walk me through how it got started and kind of what's behind the company and what it aims to do.
Yeah, so first off, Era is a umbrella organization that designs and delivers open source apps and cybersecurity infrastructure. So we're backed by some billionaire investors like the legendary Tim Draper and Mark Benioff of Salesforce, and most recently have had Mozilla of Firefox come on to sponsor one of our companies, MeetThing. But the company as a whole, the umbrella organization, is focused on making sure that we're creating ethical technology that makes the internet more free, fair, and honest for all of the participants in it. So we're very much vision focused on the open source side. We work with a lot of nonprofits like Mozilla and Internet Archive.
Okay, so the idea is to basically develop new things that help the internet infrastructure and then kind of commercialize it over time via open source.
Absolutely.
Okay. So walk me through the me thing and how it got started. I saw the initial pitch and, I know there's peer-to-peer in it. There's, the security thing, but I guess just walk me through why we need, I guess if I were doing an acronym, it would probably be yet another tool or yet another video conferencing system, which gets a little clunky, but you get the idea.
Yeah. For me, the pain point, right, is with the COVID pandemic hitting, there's a whole lot more people moving on to these video conferencing tools. And most of them are proprietary, third-party walled gardens. And there's a side of me from the personal aspect that really cares about the privacy and the encryption that's just baked into MeetThing. It's free, it's open source, it's available for civilians to use. But one of the most compelling pieces for businesses, because we like to mix and match both. We want to be ethical for people, but also really show how this radically changes the market for the future of video conferencing. And for businesses, this is the really sweet kicker, right? This is all open source. So it's going to be as easy as a YouTube embed to add video conferencing to your site. That means you regain your brand integrity rather than selling out all of your customers to these third-party walled gardens that are honestly a liability. You don't know what they're doing with your customer data and your customer information. And it's then reducing costs significantly. So I think that's a key differentiator for businesses is that they get their brand integrity back. They can embed secure video conferencing straight into their own website and not lose customers to these third-party proprietary systems.
So this is based on the GUN database, if I recall. Is that what makes it more secure, or what makes things more secure?
There's many pieces. So first of all, there's encryption baked in, okay? Another piece is users are not having to download one of these third-party tools, fumbling around on their phone. That is an installable on their computer or on the phone that can do whatever those companies want. This runs straight out of the browser, okay? And like with a YouTube embed, it runs straight out of the browser, but also stays on your site. So there's just fundamentally improved security separate from the encryption layer, the end-to-end encryption pieces. And that makes a big difference, not only on user experience, but also on the security aspects.
Okay, so the fact that it's an easy embed, does that mean it works well on mobile and desktop, or is it primarily desktop?
So the project is only 7 weeks old, and it's
Okay.
already got a lot of features comparable to these other ones. And we've already had a lot of success using it, on mobile phones, browsers. We've been testing it. There's obviously going to be some glitches and hiccups as we work through more and more user testing as we see people onboarding at higher and higher rates. But yes, our end goal is to make sure that as much as we can, we're working with the browsers, including, yes, Mozilla Firefox, to make that as seamless of experience as possible.
So as far as, enterprises using it, obviously you could just use MeThing, but, over time, is this something that gets commercialized under, like a Cloudera or Red Hat kind of model where you sell the services around it, or is this something your company will do?
So correct. Era is the umbrella organization that will sell the commercialized services. And right now, since MeetThing is so young, but taking off pretty quickly with Mozilla and these other organizations jumping on board. We are kind of reserving the branded integrations as, well, that's the thing a company can pay for if they want to keep their branding integrity with their customers and not lose them to Zoom and others. Meanwhile, you can just hit up meetthing.space right now and use the service for free. It's really cheap for us to run because it is decentralized using our other technology, the Gun database, that has 30 million monthly active users already on top of it with some of these other nonprofits. So yeah, civilians, individuals, people can jump on, use the website, but for the companies that want to regain the brand integrity, right now, contact us. We'll figure out kind of the pricing on that. But that's going to be really important for preserving your brand name as the future moves in to mostly work from home, telehealth, etc.
Right. So basically, MeThing will operate as a white label in the background, or your branding or whatever will be on the front.
Exactly.
Okay. What's your take on Inertia in the video conferencing space? In terms of, you get used to using Zoom, you're on Microsoft Teams, WebEx, whatever. I mean, I've seen leading up to, the COVID pandemic, there was a lot of mix and matching. Like I might've been on 3 or 4 of them a day. And then over time, it seems like it's kind of solidifying between, the Google, Microsoft, the Zoom, that sort of, trio. What do you think in terms of Inertia, in terms of, customers moving to another service? Or do you think there's loyalty in this market yet? Or is it just more of a, everybody's trialing everything?
Absolutely. I think there's 2 pieces to that. The inertia also means there's momentum in the space in general. It's heating up like crazy. There's competition, and that's fantastic. That's the best thing you can get for consumer protection, is to have all of these companies fighting each other. The second one, right, is yes, obviously Google has a huge network effect. Facebook has a huge network effect that they can try and just consolidate people into their platforms. But this is exactly the reason why we're working with nonprofits like Mozilla. We're trying to be a lighthouse showing that the future is an open standard, right? That would allow all of these companies to work together and to collaborate. What we want is an open standard that works straight out of the browser, not these proprietary walled gardens that are locked behind these exclusive systems. So I just want to remind people, if we felt uncomfortable selling our soul to Facebook as a walled garden social network that was then later exploited against us, it is going to be 100 times worse when it comes to our work productivity, our paychecks, our work from home. So please, yes, there is some evangelism here. There is some preaching here. Don't make the same mistake that we did before with something far, far more important.
So this is, I guess, where the Mozilla partnership comes in, where, Mozilla can give you, via Firefox, a lot more, just a bigger market to play in and ways to expose MeThing. Is that sort of the, grand plan here?
I really want to brag about Mozilla here. They are experts in internet privacy. They have almost 1 billion monthly active users. And the program that is sponsoring it is the Mozilla Fix the Internet Incubator. While so many companies in the market are laying off people on this downturn and trying to save up money, Mozilla is being more aggressive and saying, let's spend money. Let's fix the internet. Let's take these problems that have occurred and improve the situation. So yes, there's a huge opportunity from a distribution channel that, if we keep in line with Mozilla's values and principles, which is our values and principles as well, this can be forefront browser feature integration.
So the idea is that you download a Firefox browser and you would have some kind of MeThing integration over time. Is that right?
As a distribution channel, if we need to go that route, but it is preferred, right, that I think more companies are going to take the approach of the YouTube embed for video conferencing. And as that spreads for brand integrity, completely commercial reasons, right? As it should, that's how you play the game. You're gonna see Google and Safari and the other browser vendors adopting MeetThing more, and increasing the underlying technology like WebRTC to match those requirements.
Right.
So
Okay.
both avenues work, but yes, that's an important backup that we have as a
Right.
trick up our sleeves.
What industries do you see, MeetThing getting the most traction in first?
Telehealth, certainly one-on-one business to customer relationships. We already have prototypes of doing very large rooms for group meetings and even town hall settings. But again, the project is only 7 weeks old, so we're still working through some kinks. But as of right now, that's an experience we can deliver for companies. And again, that's important with respect to medical privacy, that you really don't want all these hospitals and governments sending the
Right.
customers off to these walled gardens that collect all that data. So keeping it inside of the government website, inside of the hospital's website is just a big step forward. And that's mostly, yeah, one-on-one customer service to individual telehealth, etc.
So, how, the project's 7 weeks old. Do you have any user stats or anything in terms of the, adoption so far? Are people trying it out?
Yeah, I don't have any numbers I can quote you. We can maybe get that to you later, but I've been using it for all my investor meetings, all of my, except for this interview, and it's been working pretty fantastically. So for me, the utility here is we're building this certainly for ourselves, certainly for the future, but it's already replacing our team call meetings. Now, we'll replace other companies' team calls meetings. We'll see that in the future. But for us, it's valuable standalone. And that is a key piece for product market fit, making sure people can use it today, and it's valuable for its utility today. And it certainly has hit that criterion for us.
Yeah, I mean, because I think one of the biggest challenges you guys will have is, Microsoft Teams is bundled with, Office and has all the integration. So if you're like on that Microsoft buffet plan, you get Teams too. Google has the Meets, G Suite. Zoom's kind of standalone, but generally speaking, all these things have integrations with some other, owned and operated kind of network. Do you see that being a challenge for MeetThing?
It's absolutely a challenge if we try and hit the team marketplace. We will at some point, right? But you're right, that's not a competitive advantage for us at this point in time. What I mentioned before is there's a huge competitive advantage over the business to consumer facing video conferencing again, like, can you name any company that allows you to preserve your brand while doing video calls with your customers?
Right.
I can't think of any. And company that, again, like, that is a massive pain point and will only escalate with everything that's been going on in the world.
All right. Anything I didn't ask that I should have?
I just kind of want to reemphasize the importance of trying to build a better, more free, open, and equal internet that takes the best interests of nonprofits, as well as improving the user experiences and the 70% cost savings that large enterprises and organizations can get from adopting this type of decentralized technology.
All right. Thanks for joining us, and I'll definitely check it out.
Thanks so much, Larry. It was awesome chatting.